Love. Dr. Mark, welcome.
Hey, Ray.
How are you doing? Welcome, Dr. Mark.
Thanks. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Hello, Michelle. Hello, Anne. Hello, everybody. I will just take a few more minutes to keep on saying a welcome to everyone that walks in.
Hi, Ray.
Hey, Anne, welcome.
So good to see you. Oh my God, so
Hey,
grateful
it's so
to
good
be
to
here.
see you.
Brother Ray, how are you?
Buddy. Jeff, my Olympus, my brother.
Good to see you, Ray.
There's a Greek saying that says, like the tall mountains. When you see an old friend, you say that exact expression, and it's so you, because you are my tall friend that always is up in the mountains.
Yeah. Yeah, the mountains are really green right now. They're beautiful.
Yeah, they are. Welcome. Hey, Dina, welcome.
Hello.
I'm going to take a few moments as we're moving through some retrograde planet, I'm sure, and to admit everyone, pause, breakdown room, reaction chat, participants. We'll invite all more. The participants are entering, allow participants themselves. If I enable thank you all for your patience, as it seems like with Zoom there is this feature of having to invite everyone in as you come in. I'm giving you 1 second to check with my IT partner in life. Disable waiting room, does that mean they just come in? That's it? That's what we did last time. Let's see what happens here. All right, welcome. Welcome, namaste, namaste. Thank you all for coming. Again, just a few more minutes as we had several people register. I'm hoping that I have disabled the waiting room feature, which means that everyone can come in without me needing to admit each person. I don't want anyone to feel left out. We're all here. And there, I'm going to go in gallery to see more of you. Kat, Nancy, Chanelli, Ron, Allegra, welcome. Jacqueline, Beth, welcome all. Hello, Leo. I'm sorry if I don't see all of you and if I don't mention all of you. It's so good to see you, to be here with you, connecting. Again, I see some of you that were with me this morning at yoga. Here we go. And again, I'm grateful for you being here. It is in our relations that we all find that point of reference of who we are. So I'm grateful for your presence in my life, in the past, and in the present moment. Especially as Nina and I have found ourselves being in this other country. It is good to feel those points of references since we don't have our home or our cat as a point of reference, or beautiful Kripalu and our classes there. I'll give a few more minutes because I see there are about 30 of us, and I'm sure that I feel like there's more like 50, some people registered. I invite you to get comfortable. And I will put up a timer here to end at our 6 o'clock end time. And I will just give one more minute for everyone to jump in, and then everyone else can come along as they do. Okay. So welcome once again. Namaste. Thank you for being here with me today. I would like to invite you to join me in a meditation to start with a centering so we can all attune our energies in the present moment and meet in the ether sphere and in the unified field. So as you find a comfortable position, I invite you to scoop your tailbone under, point with your sacrum to the center of the planet, to the center of the gravity field and to the center of Pachamama. Invite your navel in as an action of willingness to participate and be present in life and in this moment, in this hour that we're sharing together. Float your rib cage up and away from your pelvic floor, inviting this too as a action of the motor system to say, I stand here with my rib cage, my heart fully open in integrity in a group of people. Inviting your chin back, inviting the chin back to lengthen up through your crown, up to the crown of your head to feel I'm not in a hurry to move forward. I am centered. And as you bring your chin back towards your heart, lengthen up through the crown of your head and feel these two poles, the sacrum pointing to the center of Mother Earth, and now the crown of the head aiming to the center of the heavens. Pachamama and Intitaita. In the fine-tuning of our yogic alignment, invite the tip of your tongue to your upper palate. Invite a gentle smile at the edges of your lips. Allow for that gentle smile to be all the way at the edges of your eyes. And bring your attention to your breath. And as you flare out your nostrils, inhale and invite a stream of prana right down the center core of your body. Feel that inhalation arriving all the way at your perineum. Exhale, feel your exhaling up through the crown of your head. And in this place where you're closing your eyes, feeling the words of Patanjali, the father of yoga, saying, now begins the practice of yoga. Meaning that now I'm returning all my attention inward and I'm noticing what is happening in my inner world. No matter what is happening in the outside world, where am I coming from this very moment? What is my predisposition? and stepping into that sincerity that yoga politely asks us to step into if we want to. Feel the sincerity of just noticing without judgment and without excess thought at all. Am I predisposed to laugh? Am I predisposed to cry? Am I predisposed to be angry? Am I predisposed to be confused? Am I predisposed to be anxious? Am I predisposed to be not present? Just noticing. That's all we have to do is notice. Everything and anything that we're feeling is absolutely natural and is within the domain of human emotions and human moments. So there's nothing you need to change, but rather just notice it. Now begins the awareness. Where am I at right now? And return back to the alignment of the body, which helps finding an alignment of the meridians so there's no predisposition from meridians shutting down. Scoop the tailbone, press through the sits bones. You're plugging to Mother Earth, feeling Mother Earth, Pachamama, hold you. Tuck your chin, lengthen through the crown. Find that full length. And as you scoop your tailbone for a moment, you could just gently rock a little bit to your left sits bone and then to your right. Then lean forward, then scoop a little bit more, lean back. Feel as if you're trying to find this pelvic bowl, like a golden bowl. You want to fill with prana, with life force. And you want to find where exactly it needs to sit so you can fill it to the brim without spilling, without leaking energy into forward or back, left or right. And once you find that place, engaging, inviting the navel, and lift the rib cage, tuck your chin and feel this other reversed bowl, the inner side of the skull, as a light shining straight down to the pelvic bowl. And you can tuck your chin a little bit more or lift it up, maybe lean to left ear to left shoulder, right ear to left, right shoulder, and then come back to center. Feel you're really trying to align this light to find the maximum capacity to shine light into this pelvic bowl. In this bowl that you're filling with prana, with life force, chi, you're inviting that information from the heavens to like almost focus like a headlight, focus like a lens to fill that whole surface, inviting information from the heavens to the earth. And the more you're inviting the navel in, the more you're floating the rib cage up, the more you're creating space in the body and length in the spine. Our beloved teachers, yogis tell us, the more we're creating an inner environment of peace and expansion, the more we're creating an inner space, the hardware, if you want, to have a predisposition of awareness, awakeness, kindness, and sincerity, and stability. As you flare out your nostrils, inhale, invite your hands to your heart. And exhale, bow your chin to your heart. And as you bow your chin to your heart, thanking yourself, also I invite you to bear with me as we go through the 4 directions, inviting in the winds of the south. Beloved serpent, Sachamama, be here with us. Allow us to shed our skin and let go of the past. Allow this meeting to be a meeting that helps us feel grounded, connected with Mother Earth, like you feel connected, belly to belly, always feeling Pachamama as a living being, as a true mother. Be here with us, serpent. Allow us to let go of anything that's holding us to the past. Horpichai. To the winds of the west, the Otorongo, great Jaguar, be here and pace around each and every one of us. Pace in the ethernets between us. Allow your heartbeat to be the hertz, the megahertz of transformation and of energy that is moving between us. Allow your heartbeat to echo in our heartbeat as no fear in this world or the next. Horpichai. And to the winds of the north, sweet Colimbri hummingbird, beloved ancestors, yogis and shamans, great ones, warriors, be here with us. Sweet Colimbri, teach us how to fly backwards, to learn from the past, to heal the past, and to move forward, to have the ability, the agility to move left and right, to remember there is so much nectar we can receive in life. Sweet ancestors, yogis, and shamans, awakened ones, allow this meeting to be insightful for all of us. So for each and every one of us to be able to tap into this ancient mind, to be open to our own personal insights, transformation, and evolution. Horpichai. To the winds of the east, great condor and eagle, meeting together, bringing the medicine of the west and the medicine of the south together. May the medicine of medicine men and women fly together, be together. May we feel the medicine in our heart. May we feel it in our veins. May we feel it throughout our energy field, in our homes, in our cities. Horpichai. May we rise above and see the greater picture. From there, make better informed decisions. Pachamama, Dulce Mamita, sweet Mother Earth, thank you for holding us. Thank you for holding us where we all sit. May we be awakened to your sweetness and to the fact that it is you that holds us, you that provides us the elements for us to build the body, the nourishment for us to sustain our body, the house we will return the body to. Gracias, Pachamama. Horpichai. Inti Taita, Mama Kia. Inti, Father, Son, thank you for your sun. Thank you for your rays, your light. Thank you for the flames. May we burn the old contracts. May we use the light to see clear. Thank you for allowing us to stand up and grow every day. Mama Kia, Grandmother Moon, thank you for your sweet silver light. Thank you for the quality of reflecting, allowing us to reflect calmly, sweetly. Thank you for your grandmother energy that allows us that beautiful love and sweetness, nourishing, storytelling, holding us in such affection. Horpichai. And gently tap your heart and inhale and say, dear self, be here fully. Shine outward fully. You may also bow if you wish to, only if you wish to any god or goddess, any saint or avatar that you walk with. And gently inhale and rise. Welcome once again. Namaste, beloved ones. I was taking a moment to feel into the opening of sacred space. I want to say hello to all of you, each and every one of you, as I see you come up on my screen. I'd like to, I know we gave some time for the centering, which is very important for all of us to be in one space. But I feel to honor the times and what is happening to Pachamama and to all of us, I will invite you with our eyes open, witnessing lovingly one another, to give 1 minute of silence for the thousands and thousands that have lost their lives. To allow us to be with eyes open and present, witnessing this as a moment to see the value of life, to realize it, not to mourn, not to react, just to be with it and allow it to be the awareness of the present moment, of the now. Thank you. Horpichai. I feel blessed. I want to thank you again for being here, for trusting your time. I want to share today from my heart, and humbled as I carry the flame of the Karo Nation's people, as I have been honored, and I carry it with great humility, the torch of being an elder of the Karo people. And to just go back to some of the teachings that I've received from Don Sebastian, from Don Francisco, and many of you also know Don Manuel, the name Don Manuel. It feels that these are times to retreat. And one of the things that I shared last month with you is that I found myself in a new country with a backpack and nothing else, with almost without being able to return back to my previous reality when I left Greece so many years ago and moved to the States. And now I'm here, and there are no airplanes, there are no open borders. I can't return back to my new home, the United States. And back then, it was a very difficult transformation for me, and a difficult moment, or a difficult moment that lasted a few years. But now has me in the place where I feel that, wait a minute, I've been here before. And I feel humbled that I've had the opportunity to rehearse this, almost like the sense of the end of the world, or the end of many things that we knew as reality, as they started collapsing by the fact that we couldn't go out, or by the fact that things are just falling out of place. And these things falling out of place were the things that are referred to earlier, is that what we keep as points of references. So as we come here, our point of reference, as we come here and we are embodied and we live in a body, when we look outside, what we see is just so beautiful, and it's a miracle. We see beautiful men, beautiful women, beautiful children, like this screen, beautiful dogs. I see a dog and a cat. All this beauty of life, of God, of divine energy manifested and expressing itself through so many forms and so many moments, expressing all the emotions. And it is just so dear to the eye and dear to the heart. And they say, many angels would give up their wings to be embodied in order to live this, to feel it in the body, in the flesh, how it is to feel all the emotions, the whole gamma. And then as we enter here, it seems that a lot of times, and it feels what happens to the world, or what is our tendency, is because it's all so beautiful, we want to hold things, we want to touch things, we want to own things, we want to feel things, we want to visit them again. And in all that wanting and feeling and liking and loving, there's also some other things that provide us the contrast that we don't want and we don't like, and we want to push those things away. And we go through life with what yogis and the Buddhists and the shamans say, we go with things that we want to be attached to, and we get all attached, and we go with the things that we are appalled by, we're pushing away. And there's a constant push or pull in life. And at the end, as material as it is, there's a moment that in each person's personal life, all of a sudden, everything just might disappear and fall away. All that we feel that is just for granted right there, then all of a sudden that can be taken away. May that be a diagnosis of one person, or a diagnosis now that is just gone through so many thousands of people. And it gives us the opportunity all now collectively to feel this, because I'm sure that you have heard many times, like I have, and we've read in books, and I know I've personally experienced that through near-death experiences are the experiences that really help us awaken. So when you're really close to, having almost an accident, a car accident, or some kind of accident that it was a real close call, or you've received a diagnosis that gives you that certain amount of time or percentage of small chances of surviving, then all of a sudden, in relation to that, in relation to what's happening inside, everything starts readjusting. Everything, all our priorities start moving and really gaining some perspective or some new perspective. So to bring this back together, what happens as we come in, the yogis tell us and the shamans tell us, is that we get so excited with everything outside that we play outside and we really develop our sense of reality with everything that is happening outside. And then if that's pulled away all of a sudden, then it's really, really easy. And I think and I feel many of us has felt this in this last few months. It's easy to lose our sense of reality altogether. It's really easy to lose those points of references that created reality. Once they're pulled away, the identity collapses. Who am I? What am I going to do? You know, if I can't do my yoga classes, if the yoga studio is closed for the next 6 months, how do I find my identity? If I'm not in my own car, in my own neighborhood, if I'm not petting my cat, if I'm not sitting on my couch, I'm losing all these points of references, and then I feel that I am lost. And the work of yoga and the work of shamanism is exactly that. Prior to any event happening, they give us the gift and the tools to turn our attention inward and to begin to create an understanding of reality that comes from inside as a technology, by using a technology and ways of viewing the world through these methods, through these disciplines. Through yoga itself as a discipline of freedom, through shamanic work as a discipline of clarifying what is true and what is real. So there is a big gift here, and not to sound, because we have to take this as a gift. We have to. For yogis, for shamans to say that the world lives in winning and losing. So we may go through our life by having all these like wins and we celebrate and we're the best, or then we have these loss and losing, and then we're victims and we're the worst. And we keep on going back and forth through this. And again, those both apply to bring attention outward. But yoga, or now begins the practice of yoga, means bringing the attention inward. I never lose. I am winning or I am gaining lessons. I'm celebrating life or I'm learning more about life. And I return constantly my attention inward to be able to have that stability. And to kind of bring this a little bit together so it kind of makes sense, there's two paths in yoga. There's the path of the ascetic and there's the path of the householder. And I feel that in my screen, we're all householders because the ascetics are not here, they're in the cave. None of them are on the internet right now. And I bow to the ascetics, to the monasteries, to the time I've spent alone in vipassanas or in the jungle. But I know that I choose to live amongst people. I will never change the experience of being a householder, of having a son, of owning a cat, of having friends, of having students, of having teachers. But there's ways to do this. So there's like almost an in-between path that is that of the practitioner. That I want to say is the shaman. And yoga is the practice to sustain me in being a shaman. So the shaman is a way of thinking. It's not only the tools that I see many of you who have been through the trainings through the years, through the Jaguar path trainings. It's not only the tools that we apply to heal others, to help others in healing sessions, but it's more than that. It's a way of living and a way of thinking, a way of communicating with others and evaluating moments and exchanges of experiences and allowing them all to be either winning or gaining, allowing them all to be divine moments of exchange of energy, or as Tantra Yoga says, God looking at God at the same moment. And yoga is the discipline that allows my body to sustain that ability, that stability of the endocrine system, the openness of the meridian system, so my emotions don't take my mind for a ride. So there is the focal point. How much am I focusing outside into the world? And we should, it is important. We are one humanity. But also it is in that how much I'm focusing out to the world is like, how can I focus outside to the world without losing touch with who is focusing outside in the world? Because it's like I'm witnessing in Facebook, it's like everyone is outside. Everyone is outside when you're in Facebook. And these outsiders are all exchanging these opposite views, like big Babylonian exchange of information or words that agree and disagree and agree and disagree and agree and disagree. And it's just a swirl of many words and many emotions, which what yoga calls samsara hala hala, the illusionary reality. The poison, hala hala, is the poison of illusionary reality. Everything that is happening is real, but the emotional value that we attach to it is a personal decision and has everything to do with where each one of us stands. Kabir, the great Sufi master, who is both a yogi and a shaman, said, I was smart and I wanted to change the world. Now I am wise and I want to change myself. It is a moment that we are invited, that we have been invited to move inward as we all retreated and came into silence, let go of our hobbies, let go of our friends, let go of work, and we're all in this uncomfortable moment of these last 2 months where only a gift like that would be the gift, almost only the gift that would take away us being comfortable in going over and over in these patterns and cycles of the, what is it called, the Groundhog Day of our emotions. Because what yogis and shamans see is that the physical form, the body, creates patterns. There's patterns that are created in it. And the most important patterns that are created are the emotional patterns. There are patterns of a conversation between thought and emotion. Thoughts instigate emotion, emotion instigates thoughts. Sometimes one is the beginner of the conversation, sometimes the other. No matter what the conversation usually does is when I have a thought, I'm instigating that secretion of an emotion, of a hormone within my blood flow. This blood flow now returns to the brain, to the actual brain, to feed the organ, and the mind that lives in the organ perceives that there's more of that emotion there, so it thinks more is up. So it sends more signals of that emotion, and now we're secreting more. And by the time the endocrine secretes more and it comes again back to the brain to feed the organ, the blood has more energy of that feeling. Let's say it's anger. Anger begins to build up. And as that conversation goes back and forth, the emotion spirals out of control. And what happens is that there's one person in the middle between these two that are having the conversation, and that is you. I. It is me. It is the I. It's the ego. I am neither my thought nor my hormones, yet I am tantalized from both, and I am pushed and pulled in a tug of war between the two. And now that my body, which I live in, because my body is not I either, but this is where I live, right? Along with these other roommates, the hormonal Ray and the thinking Ray, the narrator upstairs. So as the body receives these emotions, we go through a week or through a month, and we go through a week saying, I got Tuesdays and Thursdays, I got upset. Wednesdays, I got really sad. Mondays, I'm awesomely happy. It might be different for you. It's different for every one of us. It's that we call personality. And by a week by week, my body, being like Earth, You notice, like, if you look at a side of a hill and you can see waterways trickling down, there's ruts that get deeper and deeper. Rainy season comes in and those ruts go deeper and deeper. And that rain coming down that side of the mountain is my hormones. And I have that anger that comes up every Tuesday and Thursday at 6 o'clock. And then that sadness that shows up every Wednesday. And then those endorphins that show up every Monday. And they're all there and they're just getting deeper and deeper and deeper. And what happens is that these emotions become my reality. I believe in them, but something else is happening behind the scenes. And this is where yoga is the shamanic practice. What is happening is that, what is happening is that these hormones are not only allowing me to feel what I'm feeling, allowing me to feel terribly upset today and very angry. And I can tell you 100 reasons why. And I will tell you, and I will try to bring you into my story and try to hear you say, yes, Ray, you're right. You should be angry, or totally, you should be sad. I want to invite you into that. But what is happening besides that is that in the meantime, I'm feeding the cells of my body. I'm feeding each cell, and each cell has these, we have to feed ourselves, right? Because when we eat food, that food doesn't just go to the stomach and to the blood. It does all that, but then eventually goes and feeds each one of the cells of our body. And that's how we're alive as a unit. And depending on what you feed the body, the cells create little mouths, if you want, what are called receptors, and are trained to create specific receptors, amounts of receptors, depending on what you eat. So if you eat many days the same thing, it creates more receptors for that specific food. You get a lot of vitamin D, it creates a lot of vitamin D receptors. If you get a lot of vitamin C, it creates that. But it also likes to eat emotions. So if I'm feeling a lot of adrenaline is coming through, it creates receptors that receive adrenaline. I'm angry, I'm upset, I'm like, I'm ready to fight or flight. And endorphins, it creates receptors for endorphins. So what happens is, as I go week by week, I'm slowly training all the cells of my body, and I'm becoming addicted to the emotions that I have. And this addiction it's not a bad thing. I know maybe the word addiction is a little bit, at least for me in my vocabulary, it's like, but I become programmed. I don't know if that's a better word, but I become used to feeling these things. So if Tuesday afternoon and Thursday afternoon, where I usually get upset, nothing's happening to upset me, I'm going to go out to find it. And I don't know I'm doing it. I'm going to stub my pinky on the couch and I'm going to be, damn it, I knew it. We shouldn't put the couch there. Who put the couch there? Taking it all the way back. Now I'm going to look out again. I'm going to look outside again. And I'm going to find who is the person that put the couch there. And then I'm going to secrete more of my anger and bring it towards them. There is nothing wrong with any of our emotions. There's nothing wrong with anger. There's nothing wrong with sadness. There's nothing wrong with, actually, they're all a celebration of being alive. I mean, imagine that you can go through whole life and never be upset for once. Just be like a straight line. How boring and how unreal it would be. I'd like to live a whole life and just be in a straight line. So that's important to know. I'm not working against emotions, and even more so, I'm not working against myself to create guilt or remorse for feeling things, because that's another trip we get into, or I felt, a guilt trip, or I'm not good enough. Wow, I practiced yoga for 20 years and I got upset and I raised my voice. I'm really bad now. Now I'll go now starting to fill up the other chemical of guilt, because I have that inside me too. So I'll feel that I keep for Sunday mornings usually, because I have nothing else to do and I can feel guilty about these things. Is everyone with me? So taking a step back, one of the things that made me go around my tail, spin around my tail, I don't know if I'm using that English expression correctly, is that someone told me that you have to annihilate the ego. You have to let go of the ego totally. And then I started going into, like, every time I would get angry, then I would say it's my ego and I have a bad ego, right? And then I would be like trashing myself, bringing myself down, really just creating then yet again another hormone, or a cocktail of hormones called self-worth, poor self-worth, just self-esteem, low self-esteem. There you go. That's the word, low self-esteem, another hormonal state of being. And then the conversation happens again in my brain and the hormones, etc. The idea for a shaman is to step aside. The idea for the yogi, one and the same, is to keep quiet and just notice what is happening in the body. Notice what is happening is like taking, I always thought that meditation was a place where everybody closes their eyes and they're somewhere else. And I could never do it because I close my eyes and I start thinking. Anyone else do that? You can see hands. Yeah, we are, because that's what meditation is. You close your eyes and you think. It's what everybody does. Even the Dalai Lama does it. I can guarantee you that. He hasn't told me, but I can guarantee you that. But I can close my eyes and I can watch myself think, which is a different thing. I'm not in the trap of thinking and secreting the hormone and letting the hormone bring my thought back up more and go back and forth to the spiraling out of the emotion. But I am sitting in a place where I'm watching myself think, and I'm saying, oh, there you go, sweet Ray, you're doing it again. You're doing it again. So one of the things that I've learned through the shamans, and I see many of you who have met Don Sebastian, and some of you that met Don Francisco, and many of you that know me, affection is the key to enlightenment, and affection is the key to everyday life, which is more important probably than enlightenment. And again, where is the middle path? So being affectionate to the self, so we have sweet and affectionate vigilance towards retraining the self. And knowing thyself means that I'm beginning to see all these parts of who I am. On one hand, I don't want to let go of my identity. If you ask me, I feel it's sweet that I can say, guys, I'm half Greek. I really love saying that. And it creates all these hormones inside me, and it creates this identity inside me. And I'd rather not lose it. But it's been a liberation not living in Greece, having to let go of identifying so much and being only in that reality. I love saying I'm American and I live in the Berkshires, but it's been a great liberation that I've been locked outside, because I don't have to go to the old patterns, go back again. It's spring and summer, and we're going to be there with Sebastian. We're going to light the fire. We're going to do the same things again. And that's going to make me happy. But now that I don't, I have the opportunity, perhaps, to evolve. And every time I lose something from the past, I have the opportunity to bring in something new that is one notch up, one little notch up, that is one more gift that can enrich me, it can enrich Ray, or that deeper inner self. So yoga and the shamanic tools, being tools of allowing us to know thyself, are tools that allow us to step out of the self in order to be able, as a scientist, as someone like from Condor, is to be able to rise up to Condor. Even that tool is to come up and look at myself in relationship to, and notice what is happening, and just notice what is happening. Just be there and look at it happening. So it's not the only thing, it's not my only reality, but it's something that I'm knowing and I'm feeling. The practices themselves allow me to slowly wean myself off those emotions that are emotions that belong to the collective consciousness that are under the chapter Samsara Halahala. Under the chapter, these emotions that are the collective consciousness that are illusionary realities, like a lot of pain or a lot of anger or a lot of confusion or a lot of where's the manager sensation. a lot of blame, a lot of pointing out to one another and back, and who did this and who said that, and if you didn't, etc. Stories that can unfold forever and that keep us once again back into the back and forth between the inner narrator and the inner endocrine system. So I could step out, allowing for any time that I lose something, for allowing ourselves to, yes, offer it mourning, offer it a moment of silence, offer it a fire ceremony, offer it and honor it for what it was, and then step back and see, without that, who could I might evolve to be? And that is a constant play of evolving, because the issue here is, and the difficulty here, and I feel it's something that when I learned this, when I was taught this, it was really, really helpful. So the issue here is that I am addicted to who Ray was, because my cells are asking for me to be angry again. My cells are asking me to be jealous again. My cells are asking me to be confused again. So what I do when these emotions come up is I go to the mat. Someone said something and didn't I know it? Now I'm angry. Now I'm triggered. And you know what? I'm right. And I'll tell you how right I am. And as I'm telling you how right I am, I'm going to get even angrier. And the more angry I get, the more right I become. And there's this tricky business too, because there's not only just righteous anger, there's righteous hurt. There's righteous pain. Like, you hurt me so much and I am so right to be hurt so much. And again, that is like bringing the attention outward. So the job of yoga, or the technology of yoga that helps the shaman that awakens within, is to keep on returning to the mat, to the cushion for meditation, to pranayama, to breathe things out, in order to slowly wean ourselves out of the patterns of emotions. And as I take these patterns away slowly, I'll feel them again. You know, there's so many times I missed yoga, the first 5-7 years of practice. It's like I kept on missing yoga. Anyone missed yoga ever? Because if I would go to yoga, I wouldn't have time to stay that hour and a half and be upset. And I missed yoga because I was upset, and that was more important to me. And so because the self wants to remain the self wants to be that person that gets angry because of that person that likes these specific emotions in this specific order. So this is the reason why evolution is so difficult to attain, because I have to lose myself. And it is myself that brings me to the table to say, I want to go to that workshop and take that training. I want to travel to India. I want to travel to Peru. I want to travel through Mexico to learn, but it's me. I want to be the same self when I come back from Mexico. But if I'm the same self, it's like, you may as well not go. Just stay where you are, keep that point of reference in the outside, and keep on going through the same emotions and the roller coaster and the pattern. So in that moment, and I want to say that, I want to touch the word a little bit, maybe despair, maybe something, any hue of sense of despair that we may have felt, because I think that is a word or a sensation that's been echoing through these last 2 months, 3 months. And I feel it now palatable too. So that despair can be shifted as the motivator, or as that new trigger. It's like, if I'm feeling despair, that means I'm feeling that the reality is taken away from me. Yet reality cannot be taken away, it's still here. What's taken away is my momentary reality, or what I've grown the patterns of calling reality. My patterns are taken away from me. So when I'm feeling despair, when I'm feeling loss, I'm beginning to say, wait a minute, let me pay close attention to this, because this might be an awesome opportunity for huge evolution. This might be the opportunity for big change. And it's going to hurt a little bit. You're going to sweat a little bit. I'm going to go through these emotions, but I'm going to take them back to the mat over and over again. Inhale, exhale, up dog, down dog. Warrior one, warrior two. Brush up, brush down, wax in, wax out. I don't know how many warrior ones and warrior twos I've done. And there's so many times that I didn't even know why I was doing them. And there I was again. Okay, warrior one, yeah, whatever. Warrior two. It's like brush up, brush down, brush up, brush, wax in, wax out. We change slowly the patterns of the cells and all these little cells. And as we change these little mouths, these receptors, we're essentially changing ourselves. Eventually, these 3 billion cells, you look in the mirror and you see all of them, and you look in the mirror and you say, wow, something's changed. Or you meet a friend and someone says, you've changed. Have you done something with your hair? What have you done? People won't see. They'll see the change. They won't find it exactly where it is. As collectively we're facing this, as collectively, and you know, if we just take 10 steps back, this is like something that, you know, I come from Greece. There you go again, I'm feeling it. I come from Greece, and I grew up with stories from my grandmother, my beloved grandmother, Luluvi, flower. She was a very thorny flower. She was a very angry person in her life. She went through 4 wars. So I grew up through stories about reality being taken away over and over and over again. And then when it happened to me, when I was diagnosed, it's like, then it really happened. And now it's happening in some ways collectively. And I feel again that this is the opportunity for us to really just go back in, feel in it, and see if we could just watch it. So the day I'm feeling angry, can I watch myself be angry? Because it makes a huge difference. I don't have to punish myself for it. It's not bad that I'm angry. It just might be interesting to watch myself rather than buy into it. Even though it might be right, it might be more interesting to watch myself, to learn thyself and watch myself, how I act, how I react, what is happening, so I can learn more about myself and my behavior. And as I'm doing that, and as I'm finding the equanimity of the endocrine system and what is secreted in and on the mat, while I'm breathing deep into the mat, while I'm breathing deep into my solar plexus, and I'm finding that center, I am able to witness myself grow, and 6 months later say, ah, that's changed. And a year later say, ah, that's changed. We come here and we live a life, and the more we live, the more experiences we live. Life is not time. Time is an arbitrary thing. The calendar is all made up. And even counting the spins of the earth is made up. Life really is measured in experiences. When did you go swimming? When did you go up that mountain? When were you with your children? When were you playing with your puppy? When with your friends singing? When were you holding your buddy crying? That is life. It's the experiences of life. So to experience more and more is what we're looking for, but not the same and same. Allowing for these moments that everything is paused to change our experience and to notice our experience in what is offering to us as a gift. To be able to change on a cellular level, and that's where that's where yoga comes in as a brush up, brush down, wax in, wax out, to be there every day. And I know I've asked hundreds of people, and I know a lot of you have probably been in groups where I've asked, do you feel that life has changed after 2 or 3 years of practice of yoga? And everyone nods their head, and a lot of people chuckle like, yes, of course. And what has changed is only that. We've changed on a cellular level. It's not that we learned some new teachings or got this insight. There are insights that come, but the insights will only come if the cells have changed and allow your hormonal state of reality to receive that. Did I make sense? If I don't change the patterns of my cells, I cannot have a new insight or a new thought. I will never have a new thought. I will have the same ones repeated over and over again, and I will call you. I can see several of you beloved buddies, and I will say, right? Wasn't I right? I'm finding myself right over and over again, and that Groundhog Day just finds its way to me, and the experiences happen again, and I'm right again. I've been victimized again. I've been upset again. I've been this and this and that. But again, to become a shaman means that I can rise above all of it, and I can see myself with all of humanity as everything. I can see myself as a jaguar, as a wolf, as a chipmunk, as a frog. I can see myself as an old man, an old woman, a child. We are all this. And as I rise above and not buy into one locked pattern, I have a greater experience, and I'm more able to meet with more of you in outside the realm of blame and in a higher realm where reality, the real reality is happening. Although I might miss myself when I was 18 and 19, that guy with the fastest bicycle in the neighborhood, I really don't want to be that again. And in order for me to not be that again, I have to sacrifice the bicycle. I really loved Ray when he was 22 and 23 and he had his first camera. I really don't want to have that camera and hold it again, because I'm allowing myself for more experiences to come in, newer experiences, and in letting go, every time I let go of something, I've created space to say a new aha and to have more experience. Every time I allow myself to have a new experience, have new insights, I've had more of what it means to be alive. I've actually lived more. There are people that I know that in my neighborhood where we used to race our bicycles that are still riding their bicycles. I literally got a photograph of a friend that I was riding my bicycle with 14 on his bicycle today in the corner of the house that I grew up in, and saying, "Do you remember this?" And I'm like, "No, actually I don't." I didn't say that, but it's the truth. There was nothing to remember. I'm remembering new things. I'm putting together, I'm recognizing new things. And I'm bowing as I let old things go. And I'm rejoicing as new things come along. And I'm allowing for the evolution to happen. I'm welcoming it. So the essence, to just bring it home as our time is coming up, and I want to honor your time for the rest of the evening for your plans, is that there is this thing that is called mechanisms of enlightenment. Enlightenment doesn't happen because of how much we study. That helps, but mostly what we study helps us know how to act, and how we act helps us to recreate patterns of our endocrine system, create a stability in our endocrine system, and an openness in our meridian system. So we can welcome all the emotions and know actually a wider gamma of emotions, while we do not become hijacked from any single one. We don't become hostages of only one emotion, and we live as that, and as that being our only personality. And the methods of breathing and the methods of sitting on meditation or practicing yoga, the methods of clearing out chakras with our rattles, with our crystals, the methods of being in a sweat lodge, all those are detoxifiers. All those are methods to move out previous patterns and toxins, that then and only then, again, can I have created the mechanism, created the endocrine system that allows my first chakra to commune with my seventh chakra. That the place I'm most human can feel that light. That pelvic bowl can be filled to the brim, but I'm feeling with life force that is not informed only by the collective consciousness, which is now mostly chaotic, but I'm finding that tip of my tongue to the upper palate of my chin, and I'm beaming down from my inner skull, and I'm sending this light. So I am experiencing life as a human being, yes, in a body, yes, in an ego, but at the optimal state possible. So I can receive this gift of life in the most wide range of capacity. And so I can engage in life and with others at an optimal state of being. I hope these thoughts coming from my beloved teachers and from my narrators upstairs have been useful to put in your narration and to put into your practice. I am very happy to open the conversation, and you know, everyone I feel knows that, to receive an email, any thoughts or questions. Wednesday night, we're opening for the Q&A for the 7 foundations. I think that we've sent that email out to everyone. So if you're receiving the 7 foundations training or not, you're more than welcome to join that Q&A. The 7 foundations, most of you, I see you're in it, are the tools that I've been talking about, or some of the tools that I've been talking about. So please join me. And if you have any questions, if you have not received the invitation for the Q&A for the 7 foundation, shoot me an email and we'll send you the link. If you have any questions, comments, or questions, shoot me an email. I'll be very happy to hear from you. I invite you to close our eyes together for one more time, just to close in the same space, in a neutral zone, higher above than everything that is happening right now. Taking a moment to, maybe with a different angle after what we've said, to scoop your tailbone, so to point your sacrum, the axis of your luminous field, to the center of Mother Earth, to be aligned. Lift your rib cage so your internal organs are free to breathe and to function without any weight on them. Tuck your chin back to access and to tap into your thyroid and parathyroid. Tip of the tongue to the upper palate to tap into your pituitary gland. Lengthen up through the crown to awaken the pineal gland. Find that smile to lift the corners of the mouth, stomach forward, to get the digestive tract happening and working, digesting everything we talked about, integrating. And inhale your hands to your heart, making sure to bring everything that you collect in your pelvic bowl and Muladhara to rise up as a human sweetness and satisfaction of the physical life itself to your heart. And as you tuck your chin, feel you're beaming down the God energy that you are, straight down into your heart. And bow your chin, because you are the yogi, you're the guru, you're the shaman. You're the one with the experience in it, around it, and on both sides of it. And bow if you wish to even deeper, thanking the gods and goddesses that were present with us, that are always here, the saints, the avatars. And gently inhale and open the eyes. Namaste. Horpichai Sonkoi. Thank you all for being here. Reach out. A lot of love to every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Lots of love.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Hope to see you soon. Reach out.
Yeah, sure.
Namaste.
Namaste.